Hello everyone, welcome to The Old Man and the Read. My name is Jerry. Today I'm going to discuss the books I've read by a French novelist, Patrick Modiano. Modiano was born in 1945 and he won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1914. Now, he hadn't had any books, as far as I know, published in English until he won the Nobel, and then they started slowly being translated and published. And there for a while, shortly after he won it, I was reading the books as they came out, but I eventually fell off and hadn't been reading some of his later ones. But I've read a few of his books, and so I thought I would discuss them. They're really fascinating stories. He just infuses a lot of mystery in his tales, and he talks or explores like identity and memory and lost memory in them, and they're fascinating stories. But I'll show you the books I've read and say a little bit about them. The first I have was published in 1975, and this is Villa Trieste, and this takes place in the 1960s. It's about a young man who calls himself Count Victor. He arrives in a small French resort on the shores of a lake bordering Switzerland. He meets a young actress named Yvonne, and also kind of a menacing sort of a man named Miant. There isn't a lot that happens in the story, but it does have a lot of just mystery woven into it. And in the book, Yvonne and Victor have an affair. But the story is told as if it's from memories by Victor several years later. The next book I have was published in 1978, and this is Missing Person. And this is about a private detective who had suffered amnesia years ago and had forgotten his past. He is then hired to be a detective, or to work with a detective agency, and he decides to investigate his own case, and he just to discover his true identity. Next book was published in 1981. This is Young Once, and it's a story about a couple in their mid-30s, and they're telling about how they met at the age of 20. It really lacked most of the mystery that Modiano had in his other books, and to me wasn't as enjoyable. In 1988 he published Suspended Sentences, and this is 3 novellas in one book. The first one is titled After Image, and this is a narrator who remembers a forgotten photographer who's disappeared. The other second novella is Suspended Sentences, and this is about 2 brothers who are sent to live with 3 women while their mother goes on a theatrical tour. And the last novella is Flowers of Ruin, and this is about a man who investigates an unsolved murder from the 30s and discovers mysteries from the present. In 1990, he published Honeymoon, and this is about a man who hears that a French woman from Paris has committed suicide. He realizes that he knew her and her husband like 20 years before. He then begins tracking down her life and is writing her biography, possibly for a documentary. He's a documentarian. And he discovers some interesting facts about her. In 1997, he published Dora Bruder. This is actually a story written by Modiano as himself, and he's tracing the last months of a teenage Jewish girl who disappeared during the German occupation of Paris. And as he delves into this mystery, and he finds that there's a lack of official records, and basically the story is about just the all of the lost people and lost stories from this period. The next book I have, published in 2003, is Paris Nocturne. This is about a man walking down the street, and he's clipped by a car that then crashes. The woman driving the car and the man are then taken to what he thought was the police station, but then it turns out to be a hospital, and he's sedated and wakes up in a clinic. And he's given money and signs an agreement, and then he begins remembering experiences that from the past, and some of them seem to involve this incident itself, and the whole thing becomes a real huge mystery. In 2007, he published In the Cafe of Lost Youth, and this is told from the perspective of 4 different narrators, and it's about a cafe scene of Paris in the 1950s. A mysterious young woman walks in who is called by the regulars Loci, but no one really knows anything about her, and as we learn more about Loci, her past becomes even more elusive. And the last of Modiano's books that I read is the Occupation Trilogy, and this is 3 novels in one book. The first is La Place de l'Étoile, pardon my French, and this is a satire written in almost hallucinogenic style, and it switches from first person to second person and third person. The second book is The Night Watch, and this is about a Jewish man who becomes a double agent between the French Gestapo and the Resistance. And the third story is Ring Roads, and this is about a young man searching for his father after 10 years. He finds him in a town in the outskirts of Paris. But those are the books I've read by Patrick Modiano. Really enjoyable reads. I have several I'd want to read now that I've started talking about them again. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching the video, and hopefully I'll see you on another one. Thanks.